Hey guys, welcome to the video that I'm sure some of my viewers want to just know my thoughts on it. The Note 3 and the G Flex. So I won't do a battle, but this is kind of more of a comparison, just a real fast, to show the differences in the device and what they're capable of, and my thoughts on both of the devices, because obviously I have both of these and I'm using them. So first things first, I brought up the browser so you can see the screen quality in both and see what it looks like. You can see the Note 3 is extremely clear with a white tone to it, and the G Flex has like a grayish bluish tint to it. That's the only way I can describe it. But when you're not looking at it next to the Note 3, it looks fantastic. You can't tell the difference. So let's run down these specs here, and I brought up each phone and each browser so you can see what they're working with here. I got the brightness set at 50% on each one, and let's get into it. So as far as the body goes, the G Flex weighs 177 grams and this weighs 168 grams. Now the weird part is the G Flex feels lighter. It's hard to explain. You'd have to go to the store and get both phones and ask someone to help you to put it in your hand or something, because the G Flex feels a heck of a lot lighter. And I have a glass screen protector on this one, but I took it off and did the same thing. It just feels lighter, and it could be just the way the ergonomics or the way this phone is built. I have no idea, but the G Flex feels better in the hand. It feels lighter. Now the displays, obviously, here's where we get into some serious comparisons here. This is a 6-inch display and this is a 5.7-inch display. The Galaxy Note 3 definitely is better in the display. It's a 1080p display. It's not even about the pixels per inch, it's just a sharper display, and this is a 720 display. Now this is a Super AMOLED display. This is a curved P OLED display. Now the P is for plastic, for those of you wondering. This is a plastic display. But that's not so much, it's not that it's a bad thing. This has a higher pixel density, but again, I'm an end user, even though I'm a techie like you, or just a person trying to find my way through the tech world. End users don't care about pixels per inch. They want a sharp screen or something that looks good to them, and everybody has their own opinion. It's like an asshole, everybody's got one. And the G Flex is not a slouch. It may look like it next to the Galaxy Note 3, but it's not a slouch. The Galaxy Note 3 has Corning Gorilla Glass 3, which doesn't matter, and this has 2 because the phone will still crack if you drop it on the crown. This has 32 gigs built in with no SD card slot. This has an SD card slot. And you can get this in 32, 16, or 64. 3 gigs of RAM, 2 gigs of RAM. But honestly, I'll get into that later. As far as the processing power, they both have 13 megapixel cameras. They both shoot 4K video. There's been some dilemma about that. This has a 2.1 megapixel on the front. This has a 2. Really doesn't matter. They both have really great processors. I'm gonna get down to the processor here. Here we go. This has a Snapdragon 800. This has a Snapdragon 800, but this also comes in an Exynos version. Their Snapdragon version is clocked at 2.3. This one's clocked at 2.6, and you can tell the difference. You can tell the difference, and that's pretty much all, as far as specs goes. 3200 battery, and this has a 3500 milliamp battery. But in the T-Mobile version, it says that it's a 3400 milliamp battery, and you might want to go to LG's website if you dispute that, because it's clearly there. I don't think it makes much difference. But I have the same. One user on YouTube on another video for the G Flex said that the Galaxy Note 3 is better because you get the entire screen. And I try to explain to him that you can hide the buttons. As you can see, it has on-screen buttons, but I hide them, and you can bring them up anytime you want. Huge plus. If this didn't have the on-screen button, this could have been a 6-inch device in a smaller package, more than likely. But anyway, you do get all the screen on the G Flex. You get all 6 inches. Alright, so I took the picture from the G Flex and put it onto the Note to have the same background. I tried to get some pictures off the internet that were, the same, but it just didn't look that great. But here's the same picture on both phones, and it looks fantastic. Obviously, it looks a lot better on the G Flex because it came from the G Flex. And all I did was took a screenshot, put it over, comes out great. But I will say that on the Note 3, it still looks fantastic because this is a 1080p display. It looks great. I mean, it really, really looks great. Build quality on these, I want to get into. The Note 3 has always been a slippery device, or excuse me, the Note line. The Note 2 was, and not the Note 1, but Samsung is what I want to say, has always made slippery devices. Well, with the Note 3, build quality, you know, versus the G Flex, the build quality on the Note 3 far exceeds. And reason being is because it has this like fake leathery feel to it, and you know, it just looks good. It looks fantastic next to the somewhat old style. This is a scratch resistant plastic, but it's still plastic, a shiny slippery plastic, which I don't like. The Note 3, when I'm doing my comparison, the Note 3 has better build quality. It looks better. It's a lot heavier. I don't know how it feels heavier, and you know, it's because they got this one stretched out or something. I don't know, but build quality. When it just comes to build quality, the Note 3 wins hands down. G Flex owners, you know, I'm not, and if just any cell phone person, or if you're just looking at my videos, yeah, I'm not biased. Some people say I'm biased. They think some people come and watch one video, like the BlackBerry versus iPhone video I have up. That thing is still, people are still arguing on that video because they think I'm pro BlackBerry. What they don't know, if they were to just join my channel, they would see that I use all the operating systems. And in this case, you know, the Note 3 is just a better looking, the build quality is a lot better than the G Flex. The G Flex, this is their first try at this type of phone, and build quality on it is better on the Galaxy Note 3. Now, one other thing I wanted to cover was the way the phones look. Now, you're going to say, well, build quality is better on the Note 3. How could you say the G Flex looks better? Well, it does. That's just the way the phone is built. I like how they did it. I like how they put this together. If this back was on this phone, oh my gosh, it would be off the chain. But this particular phone, the curved display, I gotta admit, it does help when you're doing web browsing or typing or anything, especially when you're watching movies. It just feels like you're actually in it. It just feels good. And having a curved display, and then I go back to my Note 3 and start using a flat display, it just feels weird. And that's something that if I were to start using the Note 3 again full time, it would probably feel weird to use the G Flex. But I've actually started using the G Flex in place of the Note 3, and I'm not disappointed for a number of reasons. This is a slick device, and it tapers off, which makes it feel thinner than what it really is. This is 8.3. This is 7.9 at its thinnest point, but 8.7 at the thickest, which is in the center. But the G Flex is a great looking device. It just looks better to me than the Note 3. But as far as build quality goes, the Note 3 takes that hands down. The screen quality on both is very sharp, like I said before, but the Note 3, obviously everything comes across a lot more crisp on the Note 3. But again, end users do not care about pixel density, because if I'm just using the G Flex every day like I'm doing, I can't even tell that it looks a certain way until I put it next to my iPhone 5S or I put it next to my Note 3, which I try to avoid doing because it makes me want to switch back and forth, and I don't want to do that. But let's get into the cameras. You know, first I want to take you through the menus, settings menu, because here's where LG definitely took notes from Samsung. They took notes from Samsung, and I would say they improved on Samsung. On Samsung's TouchWiz format. Now, people said that Samsung stole from Apple. Everybody's stealing from everybody. I'm up on 9 minutes. I got to cut this short. But I wanted to show you this because in other LG videos, I said that LG took design notes from Samsung, and they clearly did. This is like a souped-up version of TouchWiz. That's the way I would say it. The TouchWiz has been like this. It just almost looks outdated next to the G Flex UI because it has these little on and off switches. This still has the same sliding look here. I can scroll like this. I can't do that on here. I have to go up here and touch this. And if you look at just the overall, the way it looks, the G Flex just looks a heck of a lot better. It just looks better. I think the G Flex took Samsung's TouchWiz product and souped it up and made it look a heck of a lot better. I'll do more comparisons later, but I didn't want to make the video this long as I did because it's just me rambling on about my opinion. But I will say this: the camera on the G Flex, I've compared it to the Note 3. The camera is better. They both pack 13 megapixel cameras, but the G Flex, the pictures and videos just come out a lot clearer. It's just one of those things. It happens like that sometimes. The G Flex has a 13 megapixel camera, but in my opinion, because I've seen other blogs like Pocket Now saying that the Note 3 has a better camera, but I personally think the G Flex has a better camera. For whatever reason, it just looks like the pictures come out a little bit clearer, more sharper. But that's subjective, you know, because if I go to a different area of the world or the states or the city or whatever, the Note 3 could take a better picture. It's like boxing. Only one man's good at that moment. But as far as the button layout here, there's another thing I want to talk about on the design element. This has better build quality, but to me this has the way they laid this out, man, it's just fantastic. I've actually gotten used to doing the buttons on the back. I didn't think I would, but I did. It's like a normal thing right now. I'm absolutely used to it. One thing I don't like is when I want to take a screenshot. it's kind of hard sometimes. I hit the volume, it just doesn't do it. You have to hit the power button and the volume down, and that will take the screenshot. But it's kind of difficult sometimes, and I like the illuminating button back there. Now I do like that I can use the LED to flash when I get messages, and this one doesn't flash, and if it does, it flashes, but the LED light, the little power button illuminates. I haven't really dug too deep, but I would like my LED light to flash. So tell me in the comments if you have a G Flex and you can make your LED flash for text messages and emails and things like that. But on and on, I have both of these devices obviously, so I'm not going to say one is better than the other. The Note 3 definitely outshines the G Flex in a ton of areas, so it'll be pointless to try to compare that. But I gotta say the G Flex is very impressive, and it's a great device. It's a great switch for me. I get more screen, better sound quality. I have to say that the Note 3 speaker just sounds like it's not even on when I'm using the G Flex. So real quick comparison for you guys. Right now I've replaced my Note 3 with the G Flex. Not going to get rid of the Note 3. I've gotten rid of several things, but I won't get rid of the Note 3. It's just, you know, it's a powerful device, and it's just got KitKat too. But right now the G Flex is I have two lines that I carry. The G Flex has replaced the Note 3 for now. It's proven itself thus far, and I'm very impressed. Which one do you like? Which one do you have? Which one do you think is better? I will see you guys in the next video.